Assalamu alaikum students, this is our 13th lecture of second year computer science. In our today's video, we will start the next chapter, chapter number 2, that is fundamentals of C language. First I will give you the introduction of this chapter, then we will study the first topic, constants, and its types that are numeric constant and character constants. Second, we will see the definition of variables and the rules for naming the variables in C language. So let's start with the introduction. In this chapter, you will learn the types of data used in C language, how they are stored in computer memory, and how they are declared and used in computer program. Then we will see some examples of input and output statements, format specifiers, escape sequences, expressions, and operators. And how the operators are used in expressions and what are their precedents. In last, we will discuss testing and debugging in this chapter. So start with the first topic, that is constants. Now constants are the quantities whose values do not change during the execution of the program. You may also have studied the constant in mathematics, and constants are the quantities which remain same. In programming, constants are the quantities whose value do not change during the program execution. Now there are two types of constants. First is the numeric constant and second is the character constants. So first we will see the numeric constants. The numeric constants are those quantities which can be mathematically operated. Means that you can perform some mathematical operations on them, like you can add them, subtract them, or multiply them. The numeric constants are further divided into the two types, that is integer constant and the floating point constants. Now the integer constants are those which do not have the decimal point in it, and they represent the values that are counted. Like the number of students in a class will be an integer value. And the integers could be positive or negative in nature, but there should be no decimal point in them or commas in them. So here we will see some examples of integer. Now 0 is a valid integer. There is no decimal point and comma. 7145 is also valid. Minus 234 is also a valid integer because there is no decimal point and comma in this number. And 24494 is also a valid integer. However, 6,350 is an invalid integer. It is not right because there is a comma present in this integer. And minus 45.9 is also an invalid integer because the decimal point is not allowed in integers. The next type of constants is numeric constant is the floating point constant. Now the floating point constants allows the decimal point in them, means that they could include the decimal point, and they represent such values which are measured. Integer constants were those which were counted. Floating point constants are those which are measured. Like the height of the person, so it could be 166.75 centimeter. And the floating point constants are also called real constants. Now we will come towards the second type, that is the character constant. Now the character constant is one of the symbol of C character set. Now this is the character set of the C language, and it contains the alphabets from capital A to capital Z and from small a to small z. It could contains the digit from 0 to 9. It could contains the symbols, all the symbols present on the keyboard, and it could also contains the spaces like the blank space, a backspace, a tab. So it contains all the characters which are present on the keyboard. So any one symbol from the character set of C language, only one, it is called a character constant. And the character constant is always enclosed by single quotes. Means whenever you write a character constant, you have to put it in the single quotes. Now we will come towards the second topic, that is variables. You may also have studied the variables in mathematics, and variable usually means that the values which vary, which could change. Such quantities are called the variables. So you can say that those quantities which change during the execution of program, such quantities are called the variables. Or more specifically, we can say that in computer programming, a variable is a space in computer's memory set that is set aside for certain kind of data and given a name for reference. So here you can see the three important points in this definition. The variable has a space, and it is the specific kind of data which could be stored in this space, and this space is given a name. So this is how you can define the variable in computer programming. Now the variables are used so that the same space in memory can hold the different values at different types, because the values of constants cannot be changed, but the values of variables could be changed. Now you can consider this that this is the space inside the memory. It is holding the value of the variable. Now you can store the data inside this variable, and whenever you want this data, you can retrieve the data from the variable. You can get the data from this variable as well. You can consider the variable as a kind of container which is holding the value. Now we will see that in the definition we have seen that there are three important points. It is a space, and this is the specific kind of data, and it is given a name. So first we will see that what are the rules for giving the names to the variables. Now to indicate the storage area, each variable should be given a unique name. Means that the space which is reserved is given a name, and that name is called the identifier. Now there are some rules for giving the names to the variables. We will see them. First is that the first letter of variable should be either a letter, means it should be from capital A to capital Z or small a to small z, or an underscore. We will see the examples. You can use, you are giving it the name first name. Now you can use the capital letter, that is capital F, or you can use the small letter, small f, or you can use the underscore symbol. These are all the valid variable names. However, if you write the 1, 2, 3 first name, then this is not valid. The variable name could not be start with a number. A variable name could not start with any other character other than the underscore. Okay. So this is first rule. Now the second rule is that a variable name can only have letters, both uppercase and lowercase, and it could have the digits and the underscore. So we will see the example. The valid is first name 1, 2, 3 is valid. Okay. You can add the numbers and digits in the middle or in the end of the variable name, but you cannot add the numbers in the beginning or the starting. You can also write the first name underscore 1, 2, 3. It is also valid. However, if you will write the first name at the rate of 1, 2, 3, then this will be invalid, because the only special symbol which is allowed in the variable naming is underscore. So at the rate is not allowed. This is invalid. Again, here the hash symbol is used. This is not allowed. This will be invalid. Now the same point, that only the underscore symbol could be used as the special symbol. Now we will see that how many characters we can give in the variable name or the identifier. There is no rule on how long a variable name or identifier could be. Means it will not give you any error how many characters you write, but it will consider only the first 31 characters which you are writing in the variable naming. Then the fifth point is that the both uppercase and lowercase letters are allowed. And the sixth is that the reserved words, which I have told you in one of the previous lectures, that there are some keywords in the C language, 32 keywords, which has the special meaning for the compiler, such as the for, wide, int, they are also the keywords. So these are the keywords which you should not include while naming the variables. These are not allowed. So these were the rules for naming the variables. This was our first lecture of second chapter. I hope that you have understood it. Thank you for your attention.